We made it.
We're finally in our studio.
We made it.
Yay. Ew, babe.
Is it wet down there?
No, it actually wasn't.
Good.
That
Okay.
was
Okay.
gross.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was gonna be a little wet. If you guys are listening right now, you guys are totally missing out because where are we, Madeline?
We are in our new podcast studio, and I feel so official right now.
Dude, I feel like a professional.
I know. Like, look how cute it is. The setup and everything.
If you guys are listening, definitely go to the YouTube channel and watch it because I think it looks great.
Even just for a second, just go check it out.
Yeah.
We're super hyped about it. There will be probably some minor little changes as we go, but
we've done a lot to this room. We've invested. We've painted the wall twice. We've cried in this room.
Yeah. Wait, babe. The YouTube video, we didn't even finish it.
What YouTube video?
Of us buying all the stuff and painting the wall.
Oh, yeah.
We need to show it completed. We didn't even show us setting it up.
Yeah.
Oops. We forgot to do that. But
oopsie.
We'll
do that eventually.
Yeah. I forgot we had that video, honestly.
So did I. It's on my computer. I just haven't edited it. Okay, so what are we doing today?
Welcome back to episode 10.
We made it to 10 too.
Yeah, double digits. Nice. So today, one of our supporters named Arlen gave us the idea to have you guys submit some of your relationship problems or situations that you guys wanted some advice on.
Yeah, and a little disclaimer, we are not professional couple therapists. We're not therapists at all.
And we do not think we have the perfect relationship,
But we do think we have a pretty good relationship, and we know how to talk to each other and communicate.
Hopefully. I mean, we think we do.
Yeah. But I feel
some
like
people might look in on our relationship and be like, whoa.
Well, you guys are the worst.
Yeah.
Not really, but.
But yeah, so with that little disclaimer, just know that we're not professionals.
Take this with a grain of salt, just like last episode. Was that the episode? No, because last episode we talked about our cruise.
Yeah.
Basically, the cruise was a blast. And
oh yeah, we need to do a mini update on that too.
Yeah. But I think it was 2 days too long.
Yeah, that last day for sure, we're just like, we want to see our cats.
It was a little rough, yeah.
We want our bed. It was a 7-night cruise.
And we thought it was a 7-day, like when we booked it.
Yeah. So that last day, we were just like, dude, and we were at sea for 2 days. So it wasn't like us getting off the boat.
It was so hot.
Oh my gosh, you guys, I got a heat rash and it's been almost a week.
Yeah.
And I'm still suffering with it. Like, I've been trying my hardest not to go outside because every time I do, it just flares back up. So yeah, I've been dealing with that. My face was so bumpy. It was the weirdest thing ever.
It was weird.
Yeah.
My heat rash wasn't as bad. But guys, it was just so hot, but it was fun. Little too long for our liking, but
yeah, I think next time we're going to stick to either the 6-night or the 5-night.
Yeah.
But it was still a blast. I loved getting to spend time with Steven. We hadn't done a trip like that in a very long time. And so we got to have our quality, just me and him.
Yeah.
Go on our own schedule. If we wanted to sleep till noon, we did. You know?
Yeah, it wasn't like...
We have to meet down at breakfast because everybody else is going to breakfast.
Yeah.
Like, we got to do whatever we wanted.
If you guys haven't done a cruise, do it because it's so fun. But do you think we should get into it?
Yes, we should.
So if you guys are watching, we're going to look over here. This is where our laptop is. We need to figure out like a system. It would be cool if we could get like a laptop right here and a TV right there.
Right above the camera.
Yeah, so you could just display it on there.
Yeah. We have a lot of ideas. But I also, Steven, I felt like I was doing a school project. Like, I have been out of school since December and I was doing some notes on this because I felt like we couldn't just have the question
and wing it.
Yeah, because on the spot, like, I need time to think about what advice I'm about to give to somebody. So I kind of did some like background, like thinking about it before, and I made a document, like a Google Doc, and it's just like the question and then my answers. And I really felt like I was in school again. If you see the paper too, it looks like I was
It's kind of funny.
I was doing a project.
Okay. So most of these are anonymous, or are they all anonymous?
We're going to leave them all anonymous because some people said you can put my name. Some people said don't put my name, but a lot of people didn't specify either way. So I just felt like it was a good idea just to completely block out everyone's name. I got these questions from my Instagram. I put like a poll on there. So if you guys, we might do another one of these episodes if they do well and if you guys really like it. So make sure to go follow us over on our Instagram because that's most likely where we're going to be putting the polls to be getting the answers or questions. Sorry.
Or we should do like a YouTube poll because can't we do that on our community page?
Well, we can do a poll where they can say yes or no. They can't answer the questions.
I see.
Oh,
okay.
I did say poll. Sorry.
Well, check us out on Instagram.
Yeah, that's where people can submit their questions.
Okay.
I think that's like the only, besides if we did another Google form.
Yeah.
But.
And if you guys didn't know, you guys are probably tired of hearing us talk about this, but we do have a Google form if you guys want to hear, or if you guys want to give us an idea for an episode, go to this Google form in the description.
Yeah. So anyway, that's where I got all the questions from. We are going to keep everyone's name anonymous just for purposes of, there's some specific situations too that I don't want to give away too much to some people. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think you should read them because I can't read well. So you can go ahead.
Okay, so the first question that I saw a lot was how to be a good boyfriend or girlfriend. So some were asking about girlfriend, some were asking about boyfriend.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
So at least for being a boyfriend, you just got to be there and listen. I mean, I feel like I'm always a listening ear, but not every relationship is the same. And you're going to hear us say that a lot this episode is not every relationship is the same. But for me, I just know if I'm there for you, and I'm a listening ear and I make you feel like or if you feel like I'm like here.
Yeah. Listening to me.
Listening and not just going, yeah, okay. Uh-huh.
Yeah, it really depends on the person because their love language.
Yeah.
I'm going to look up actually the different types of love language, but it really depends on what that love language is because like, I think that I'm more of a words of affirmation, which means I want Steven to confirm to me that I'm doing good or
like you did a great job. Like I'm so proud of you. My love language is touch. So I love being like hugged by certain people. Just don't come up to me and hug me if you see me. But
yeah, and so that kind of goes along with like how I could be a good girlfriend to you is holding your hand and you feel secure in our relationship because I am holding your hand or whatever it may be. So the person, it's more of a conversation that you need to have to figure out what are they specifically looking for. And they might not know.
And there's an online test that you can do too,
yeah,
right?
and they might not even know what they're looking for, especially if you are younger.
But some people listening to this might be like, oh, love language, like that's so lame. Like, but I think you should look it up because like I do think that it really does help if you know what your love language is. And it just sounds so corny, but I think it works. Yeah.
Okay. So the first one is words of affirmation. Encourage, affirm, appreciate, empathize, and listen actively. And then there's physical touch, nonverbal, use body language and touch to express love. We also have receiving gifts, thoughtfulness, make your spouse a priority, speak purposely.
I do want to say the touch purposefully. Yeah. The touch one doesn't necessarily have to be like a sexual touch.
No.
At all. And some people, because you just, on there it says without words, right?
It's just nonverbal, use body language and touch to express love. So like body language, I have my leg away from Steven, but
if I did that,
this shows that
and it's not that much of a difference, but it feels like you're looking at me. I don't know. It's weird. It's like mostly psychological.
Yeah, it's just like little physical touch like that using body language. And then we have quality time, uninterrupted and focused conversations, one-on-one time is crucial. I think I kind of like quality time too.
Yeah.
I mean, you can have like a little bit of everything within these, but when you take the quiz, it really shows you like what's your dominant.
What you really want.
Then we got acts of service. So use action phrases like I'll help. They want to know you're with them, partnered with them. So helping with the dishes or helping with changing the diaper.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We're not professionals, but
Yeah, so that's what the love language is. But it really depends on the person and who you're trying to be a better boyfriend or girlfriend to.
Yeah.
Some of the things that I think is like general to be a good person in general, is listen to his or her needs, show interest in their interests. You want to hype them up and make them feel like that you're interested in what they want to know.
You just have to be there and like
what they do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. I think that was a good one, Madeline.
Yeah. Oh, be respectful. Duh. Be respectful. If they don't want to talk right then, don't make them talk right then.
Exactly. And then, just know each other's boundaries too. Mm-hmm. You guys, okay, so you're also going to hear this a lot. Communication. That's like the number one thing is you have to learn to communicate with each other.
We can't read minds.
Yeah.
We're not mind readers. You have to tell your partner.
Because there are several times where I'm like where you get into your head and you're like, oh my gosh, is she thinking this? But like, you can't know unless you ask. So always got to talk to your partner. Always, always, always.
I agree.
Okay, this next one, how do you approach people nowadays? You know what? I don't know. I was never really good at like talking to people or like talking to girls at all, but it's hard to meet people in person nowadays.
It really is because of social media, but Steven and I kind of met in person, but then we use social media as like an outlet to further our connection.
Yeah, it was definitely different. It wasn't like a...
If you don't know, Steven and I met in the Chick-fil-A drive-thru, and then I posted on Twitter and just said, do you know this guy? Yeah. And so I found Steven. But it is possible to meet people. I mean, we're out and about all the time. We're at grocery stores. We're at a coffee shop. We're going to an amusement park. It's just, you have to know your like surroundings. I would not go up to somebody in an alleyway and attempt to talk to them. Like that's a little scary.
Yeah.
And you also have to know like if they want to be approached. Someone might be taken, and you can kind of base off of if they're like glancing at you a lot, that kind of shows that, oh, they're kind of interested too.
Yeah.
But again, it just really depends on the person.
Yeah, I would you'd have to read the room.
Yeah.
Just read the room wherever. And like, don't be afraid to ask, because again, you need to communicate. You need to talk and speak your mind. And so like, if you go up to a random person in a coffee shop and be like, hey.
And so say they do have a boyfriend or a girlfriend.
The worst thing that can ever happen
is they say no, and you just flattered them and made their day.
Yeah, exactly. And they're just gonna be like, oh my gosh, that person just thought I was attractive. Like that makes me feel good.
Like if somebody came up to me, although I am married, I would just say, sorry, I'm married, but I would still be like, dang, I still got it.
So don't like beat yourself up if you get denied either, because
there's so many people out there.
And you guys hear that a lot, but like, if you really think about it, there's almost 8 billion people on this world. But like, if you live in the United States, you got like 300 something million, which is still crazy. 360 million people is a lot.
So I did write, I said, you just need to make a conversation and compliment the other person and feel them out.
Yeah.
If you can tell if they're into it or not. And if you just compliment them with something simple like, I really like your shirt, and if they're like, don't talk to me, like
they're like, oh, thanks,
and then that's like, okay, then move on. Yeah. Like they obviously weren't like first love, which doesn't really have to be first love at sight. What is it? First
love at first sight.
Yeah, love at first sight. It doesn't have to be like that, because I know like you can fall in love with someone that you've already seen a million times.
Yeah.
But you can kind of gauge their body language.
Okay, so the next one: how do you stop liking someone when you know the person doesn't like you back? I have a story. I don't really have a story about it, but that I prepared. But I was in this situation for like, 4 years.
Oh.
It was rough. It was
Poor little Steven.
It was hard. Really, you have to, after a while, you just gotta wake up, I think, and kind of look at the bigger picture, and because not everything goes according to plan in life, and it's rough. But yeah, like I was in that situation for 4 or 5 years, and it was sad because I was like, I always tried and I tried to make her happy and try to get her to notice me more. But I was always just a friend.
Oh, but I'm
What do you
glad you
think?
were just a
Me
friend.
too. Me too.
So, I don't know. I mean, there's just got to be a time where you're finally like, okay, I'm done.
And it's
I'm
hard to
done.
move on too.
I'm done trying to impress this person. I'm done trying to feel them out or whatever. And my advice would be to limit the amount of time that you see them. So I know it could be hard if, say, you're in school, because a lot of these situations, it really depends, like, were you guys dating, or is it just a crush at school, or is it someone at the workplace? So it really just depends on that. But I was trying to do like kind of a broad whatever, but say you were dating this person and I would just try to mute them on social media where you don't see them all the time and constantly reminded, because then they'll slowly start to slip out of your mind.
Yeah.
But if you're constantly reminding yourself, of course, you're going to still like them.
I wish I would have known that when I was in 8th grade. 8th grade Steven was a stalker. Always on Instagram and Facebook looking at pictures because I was like, man, that could be me in that picture one day. or something.
Oh,
You don't need to say "aw" after everything.
I know, but it feels so sad.
It is sad, but now look at where I am.
I know. So if you just kind of limit that, but if you're in school, say you're in the same
Yeah.
class, I know that's probably hard to limit your time if you're in math with him or her. But if you try to, say you get assigned seating, but if you get to choose your assigned seating, that's what I meant, was if there was an assigned seating, I would try to move across the classroom. Or if he does try to talk to you or she tries to talk to you, just not one word answers, be nice, but don't involve yourself.
Yeah.
And you don't go over and talk to him or her.
Also, I think something really important is to, like, for my situation, I felt like I was being led on. Make sure that, like, you need to step back and kind of look and say, like, am I being led on right now? Am I being strung along so I can be a part of this person's life still? But, like, I'm just a friend.
Yeah.
So you just need to look, like, you just need to take a step back and look, because whenever I did, I was like, okay, like, I need to chill a little bit. Like,
And
I need
also, if it's like a situation where if you're working with a person,
that's hard.
my advice would be to try to get your work schedule different. I know that's
Yeah.
definitely hard if, like, after
and it's
school
asking a lot
and,
too, but I mean, just try to do anything to, like,
to limit.
because what's going to happen if you're in this situation, like, after a while it gets hard because you're like, why won't this person like me back? And it does get really hard. So, like, I think it's weird saying to, like, give up, but, like, because you can't just give up. I don't know. It's just weird. It's different every single time.
Yeah, and I would just try to focus your time on something that makes you happy, something to help distract your mind from them.
Go meet new friends. Go meet somebody new. I don't know.
That's probably what I would say. I mean, definitely limiting.
Yeah.
I know some situations are difficult to do that, but I would try to limit as much as you possibly can of seeing that person,
Yeah.
whether it be physical or if it is on the internet.
I agree. Okay, what's this next one?
What was your biggest lesson from your worst breakup? So, Steven, you didn't really have.
I didn't have, like, a bad breakup.
Yeah. I had one where I was very psycho, crazy, and I wish I would have just accepted the fact that he did not want to be with me. Because why would I try to make him want to be with me if he didn't want to? So I just really wish I would have just focused my time on not looking at his Facebook, not looking at his Instagram, not looking at his Snapchat. Like, I wish I would have done what I was just saying in that previous was focus on other things that make me happy.
Yeah, I wish I had stuff to say on this, but I didn't have a bad breakup. My first breakup was in, like, 4th or 5th grade. Is that recess? It doesn't even count. Like, it wasn't even a relationship. It was it was just, like, I don't know. It was just a crush that kids have, because kids don't understand dating.
No. So that would just be my like biggest thing that I wish I would have done was just don't message him and leave him alone.
Yeah.
Let him do his thing too. And look at us now.
What about like for a guy's perspective?
Of
Like what if the
a
girl-
guys broke up?
yeah, like what if a girl broke up? Like what if the girlfriend broke up with the guy? Because it's different.
Yeah, situations.
It's all
really
situational.
just depends. Like I wish. See, that's one thing that I maybe in the future. Maybe we should do a Google form.
Yeah.
Where they can write down
Like
everything that they want to share, and then we can like not read the entire paragraph, obviously, but
Yeah.
take out the main points. And then answer the questions. Because a lot of these I was having a hard time.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, well, what if this? Well, what if that? What if this? But if I would have just known, then I could have answered towards it. And I get it. Instagram has a character block of character
Yeah.
limit. And so you obviously can't explain everything in
Exactly.
that one little 100 word or 100 character.
Yeah.
So maybe that is something we should
Let us know in the comments.
look into. But for a guy perspective, it depends. If they broke up with the girl, leave her alone.
Yeah.
Let her do her thing. Don't string her along.
Yep. Don't like keep on texting or be like, look, as polite as you can be. The most important thing, like if you're in a breakup, just to be nice to each other. Don't like end it up like if somebody cheated, it's like a big thing. But like don't try to like blast them because like what? Like nothing good is going to come out of it if you're just going to be angry all the time. So I think I'm not saying all the problems can be fixed with being kind, but I think most of the time you get like it can be civil if you're just nice to each other about it and kind of understand where they're coming from and vice versa. But
Yeah. For a guy, again, I think just limiting seeing the girl as much as possible. If like you always saw the girl in a hallway, maybe take a different route to the next class.
yeah, think of just
Stuff
I don't
like
know.
that.
You're the person, like you, the viewer, the listener.
Yeah.
You need to kind of think of what's best for yourself too. This next one, I have an answer on. I relate to this. How do you deal with mental illness in a relationship? This is interesting because whenever I first got into a relationship with Madeline, I did not believe in mental illness at all. I was anti-mental illness.
I was
like,
already diagnosed with depression though.
yeah, I was
when
like,
I first
dude,
met
depressed people you just gotta smile. Was that Shawn Mendes that said that on a tweet or something? Depressed girls, just if you're depressed, just smile, be happy.
I don't know if it was him. I think it was edited. I kind of think I remember.
Was that? What, did I just get? I'm
I
trying to
think
think of the
it
word.
was.
Was that Photoshop?
I don't know. Maybe not. I do remember. I know what you're talking about,
Yeah.
but for some reason, I kind of remember it like
Don't be sad, just smile.
it was supposed to be a joke. Like,
Yeah.
really, Shawn Mendes or whoever they
Yeah.
said it.
Yeah, Shawn Mendes might have not said that.
We need a fact check. But yeah,
we need to
that's
hire
funny.
a fact checker.
Yeah, we
So,
need
like,
somebody that sits over
and-
there typing.
Yeah.
looking at
Yeah, I did not believe in mental illness until I had a mental illness. Or I guess I always had it, but
you didn't realize.
I didn't notice. But
Sorry, I keep itching my leg, you guys. Those heat rash things itch so bad. And right here specifically, because I wore shorts yesterday, I'm assuming when I was
Yeah.
out in the sun. It's
stop
just
itching
really
it, stop
bad.
itching it, stop itching it.
So I am so sorry, you guys, if that is irritating. I don't know if you can hear it in the microphone, just
don't
for
know.
those who are listening. I'm going to try not to touch it because I need to not itch them anyway.
But
But this also depends on the mental illness, going back to the
yeah,
question.
yeah. So mental illness isn't just depression or anxiety. It could be
Yeah,
anything.
there's a whole bunch of...
I would educate yourself on the mental illness that your significant other has, or if you have.
and figure out what health advisors advise you to do on how to cope with it.
Yeah. Some ways of coping is with prescribed medication. Some people, I wouldn't say resort to medicine first, but also like if you have the opportunity to get medicine, I would totally go for it and try it out. Medicine isn't for everybody, and you've heard us talk about this before, but
There are other ways to cope with certain illnesses, mental illnesses.
But we are pro medication over here. We take medicine.
Yeah, because it helps us. But for some people, exercise is all they need, or whatever it may be.
And it does sound weird, but sometimes exercise does actually help. I mean, but that's also situational. It depends on what mental illness you have. Like, for example, like, is schizophrenia a mental illness, or is it considered one?
Is disorder and illness different?
I don't know, but since I'm not educated,
I should probably know that because I'm in a psychology major.
So yeah, I'm not a professional. I don't know if this is a fact or not, but I'm just saying this as an example. If you have schizophrenia, exercise is not the solution, and that's obvious. So that's why I'm saying that it's situational, because sometimes, because I think I have depression and anxiety. I think everybody has a little bit of anxiety in them. But I do think getting out and exercising.
Okay, so it's the same thing.
It is.
Yeah, it says mental illness, also called mental health disorders, refers to a wide range of mental health conditions.
Okay.
So they are the same thing.
Okay.
But, sorry, keep going.
I don't know. I lost my train of thought.
Oh no, I wasn't listening because I was reading.
It's okay.
I'm so sorry, babe.
You guys heard me.
I hope you were done.
I think I was.
Dang it, I am so sorry,
No,
babe.
it's okay. It's okay.
I did not mean to do that.
But yeah, educate yourself on the person's mental illness, mental health. So like, I had to educate myself on Madeline's depressive episodes because I knew like she wasn't happy all the time, and I knew that. And you try to help, but there's some things that you just can't help with. Like I couldn't help you not be sad.
Yeah.
If I tried, but like sometimes ultimately it just doesn't work. So always go into it with an open mind and
understand that they don't want to be like that.
Yeah.
Something is off in their brain or whatever is causing it to make them that way, and they don't want to be that way. Most likely they don't want to be that way.
Yeah. So I say to be helpful, but there's a point where you can be too helpful. So like, for example, I wouldn't be like, oh, is there anything I could do? Like kind of being like a golden retriever, be like, oh, what can I do next? What can I do next? What can I do to help you? Sometimes people just want to be left alone, and that's understandable. Just give them alone time. Again, communicate with each other. Say, look, I need time to myself. I hope that's okay with you, or what? But what do you have?
Just really be understanding and figure out figure out as much as you possibly can about that mental illness. And I'm sure there are forums on Google, online.
The internet is a crazy place, as you know. There's answers to everything. Not answers, but there's guides to help.
Yeah, and that would help you with how you as the person without the mental illness too can cope. Because I know it was probably hard for you to see me crying all the time.
It was because I was like, what can I do to help?
Yeah.
I think just me, I'm like, what can I do to help?
But then you had to come to terms with that's just how it's going to be for today.
Yeah.
And then we have to move on the next day.
There's not always an answer to everything. You can't, there's not always. I mean, it's different.
But I would try to educate yourself as much as you possibly can about it. And
absolutely.
Yep. The internet is a good place.
Let me make sure this is recording. Okay. I just stressed out for a little bit because I was like, I have not been checking at all. That would have sucked. Okay. The next one, number 6. Did you go through a fighting stage? If so, how did you get through it? I wouldn't say we went through a fighting stage, but I will say I was very angry. I was an angry person for a long time, and but I think that also helped with getting older too and maturing. But I was angry a lot. I had like a short temper. I still kind of do have a short temper, but it's, again, situational. But I was just mad at everything. Anything I could think of, I was like, oh, why don't they do this? Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, so we were not constantly fighting.
But we would argue.
Like little things would set us off.
Yeah.
And we'd be like.
And that's just also disagreement with us because like everybody has different views on everything. And I'm like, not everybody is going to think the same about everything. So I can't think of an example, but we would just get in arguments about stupid stuff that if you step back, like, does it really matter?
Mm-hmm.
We're on this earth for 80 years. Like, you don't need to be mad at everything.
Yeah, when we were first going through our little fights, if you want to call them that.
But I wouldn't call them that, though, because we say we had little fights, but they were not bad.
No.
But sometimes
we also do.
Yeah.
Okay, we're just going to say, yes, we do have little fights.
Yeah.
And so at the beginning, we would sit there and hash it out right then and say things we did not mean, say things that we wish we did not say. And finally, we realized, like, hey, let's take a second. I'm going to go chill by myself for 30 minutes. You chill by yourself for 30 minutes.
I will say we didn't come up with that. That was all Madeline. She was like, let me, like, be by myself for like an hour or two. Let's calm down and let's think about what we're going to say next.
And that was because that was Steven's mentality of, I want to get it figured out now.
So we don't have to be mad at each other later.
He's always been like that, even with, if there's clothes on the floor, I'm like, oh, we'll get that when we get home. And he's like, no, I got to put it up now. Like, you have to do stuff now.
Or else it's on my mind all day.
When you're like, you'll search for something, you'll be like, where is the lens cap? And I'm like, we don't need it right now. But you're like, I need to find, where's the lens cap? And you have to, like, stop what you're doing and look for the lens cap. So he was similar to that with our arguments. And I am the kind that's like, hey, let's pull this over here. I'll come back and we'll resort back to it. Yeah. Not sweep it under the rug. You should never do that. You need to come back and have a conversation.
Because what's going to happen if you sweep it under the rug is it's not going to turn out pretty later.
It's just going to be a huge mess once you
take off the rug.
Yeah, there's just going to be a lot of messes under there. So Steven and I, we finally figured out, like, it does work for us taking the moment away, because we would be in that heat of the moment fight and saying things we didn't mean, and it would just get bigger and bigger and bigger, yelling, whatever. We don't really have a lot of those, but we have in the past. Yeah. And so
I can't think of any.
And fighting is normal. You're not going to be 100% all the time.
Some people will, like, see, like, people on social media and be like, that is just the perfect couple. Well, you're wrong. Nobody's perfect, because on social media, we are human. We're not just picture perfect people. I'm not saying that we're picture perfect. Nobody is picture perfect at all. And on social media, people post the good times. They hardly ever post.
But with that being said, there is a fine line between fighting too much and it escalating. Should never become physical.
Right.
But
yeah, no argument should ever become physical.
Yeah. So whenever we finally, like, went off to our separate places, so for 30 minutes, an hour, whatever it may be, until we're both okay, we had that time to reflect and figure out, okay, am I really mad about this, or am I mad about that?
Yeah, I was just about to say that, because I was saying, whenever you go into your own little bubble, or if you're by yourself, don't think of ways that you could get back at the person. And that's something that I wish I would have known earlier, because whenever we would go think about what we did or what we said, I would say, oh, well, I could have said this, this, and this. No, you got to step back, open up your mind a little bit and say, where are they coming from? And, like, why does Madeline feel this certain way? And then I would hope you would say, why does Steven feel this certain way too?
Yeah. And it just, what's going on in their work life? What's going on in their family life? What's going on in their personal life, their school life? What is making them feel that way, or have this pent up aggression, or whatever?
Because most people, I always thought the world revolved around me. I would always think about myself first instead of other people. And so part of growing up is knowing that people have different circumstances and are different. They're just different. Everybody has their own hurt. Everybody has their own happiness, and it's different for literally everyone. Mm-hmm. Cool. I like that one. I thought that was a good one. Okay, number 7. I am 21 with a 2-year-old son and a bad relationship. How to be okay with breaking up your family.
The first thing I wrote was, "This makes me so sad."
That is, it's really,
it really
it's tough.
does. That makes me so sad. And it just really depends on what makes your relationship bad. Like, what is it? That did he cheat on you?
I think most,
but
yeah, it
is
just
the
depends.
love just not there anymore and you guys aren't physical with each other? But I would resort to breaking up your family as your last thing that you choose to do, because that child, I was fortunate enough to grow up with my parents together.
And me too. And
my siblings, I have half brothers and sisters. They weren't. And I know it was probably hard for them having to go see their dad for the weekend and then going to see their mom for the weekend. I was young when they were having to do that, but now seeing like my nephews, I just know that's going to be a hard road. And I see like some parents on Facebook talking about how their kid's going to be away for the summer with their dad.
Yeah.
Like, so for 9 months, they don't see their dad at all, but gets them for 2 months. Like, that has to be difficult.
And don't feel guilty about
and
not
that,
at all.
Yeah, but that was just me like saying it depends on what is bad about it. And now if you are being abused, your main priority is your safety and your child's safety.
Yeah,
I would 100%. Get out of that.
Yeah.
And if that is what is going on, I would definitely find a support system of somebody who, there's got to be someone in your life who is able to take you in and make sure that you are safe, and your 2-year-olds.
Yeah. And we've never have had anything similar to this. So like, I really don't know how to answer this, and I don't think we do, but
I don't really either. But if it is not the abuse that's going on, if you're not in danger, say it is just something about how he doesn't give you enough attention anymore, or this could be a 21-year-old man saying that he needs to get away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it just says I'm 21 with a 2-year-old son in a bad relationship. I'm kind of judging that it's a mom, but it could be the dad too, or whatever. But I'm just using the situation of, say the husband is no longer, or the boyfriend, whoever, is no longer wanting to help you or whatever, and you're just have pent up aggression. Is it something that's able to be fixed? Is your partner willing to fix them? And then have you also communicated your concerns?
Yeah. So
I don't know what makes your relationship bad, and I feel for you, and I'm so sorry. I really hope it is something that is able to be fixed, but you once loved this person enough to, have a kid and everything and have a relationship. Is that love able to come back?
Yeah.
But there are some things that it's like way too far gone.
Yeah.
And your safety, and again, your kid's safety should be your number one priority.
Exactly. Like, we have notes here. Did you go through pretty much all these? Yeah. I don't know. I really don't know. And I feel
maybe
for
even
you.
a therapist. I know some people are against therapists or counselors.
So before we actually even got married, we did like a premarital counseling, and people are like, "Whoa, that's so lame." Yeah. I really do think it helped.
It helped a lot.
We have notes, and it really kind of opened up our minds. And it's going to be a hard pill to swallow for the other person. But like, if you were to say like, "Hey, I really think we should do, like, I love you this much that I want to do this for our relationship," and maybe try to go to counseling or something. Maybe try to fix it, because if they really want to save this, I think they would do it with you.
But I know it's also hard to kind of convince someone, because they're thinking, "Oh, I'm the problem. You think I'm the problem?" Or whatever. I don't know.
And that person might be thinking, "Oh yeah, they're just pinning all the blame on me."
Yeah,
and
but
it's not.
It really is good to seek wise counsel. Have a support system that you're able to go to about these things, and sometimes a counselor, a therapist is a good mediator. because they know you, but they don't know you.
Yeah.
Especially your first visit, they're getting to know you as people and whatnot. But it really just depends on what did they do or what has happened in your relationship to make it bad. I hope we kind of covered the basis on that one. And I am so sorry that you are going through that. But how to be okay with breaking up with your family. I mean, you just got to make sure that you are
doing what's best for you and your child.
Kid. Yeah. And that should be, I don't know how to really tell you to be okay with that. But as long as you feel in your heart that is the correct decision, your kid will love you no matter what. And I would hope your partner would understand, yeah, this is not good for our kid.
Yeah.
Because growing up in a household of your parents not being affectionate or not showing the love that you should be showing.
Because it is hard for kids too. You see on movies like there are those scenes where the parents are just screaming at each other in the background and that kid is just devastated. And
just watching it happen. And some kids think that's how love is. And so there's a pattern that it will pass down to their families.
Yeah.
And I mean, love trumps all.
Yeah.
We need love and kindness. So I don't know. It really just depends on that. And I hope we kind of covered your basis. You got this. I know you'll do the right thing. And we'll be thinking of you and all of you who might have that problem, because I know it's a hard thing, especially when there is a kid involved. Just breaking up with your partner, that's already hard in itself. But then now you're having to think about your child.
Yeah.
It's really difficult. Like, I want to cry.
Yeah.
It makes me so sad.
Yeah. So communicate.
Yeah.
Communicate. Because
I know a lot of people are probably going through that.
Yeah. It's tough. Okay. Well, we hope we answered your
Yeah, I know.
question.
We're probably going back and forth, but I mean, this is kind of like how it's going to be.
Yeah.
It's, we're trying to be as like, I don't know.
The person in the middle, kind of seeing from both sides. We're not going to give you the correct answer because we don't know everything and we're not professionals, but
yeah, and
we will try to be that middle ground.
Yeah, you have to see both sides.
Yeah.
So I like that you said that.
Yeah. Okay. Number 8. How do you trust again after being in an abusive relationship where you were lied to for a year? Again, I don't.
This one made me equally as sad.
Yeah.
So I would first start with realizing or trying to train yourself that not everyone is like your old partner. I can't base Steven off of my past relationships. I was cheated on, but that does not mean that Steven's going to cheat on me. And it took me a while to realize that and gain trust and not needing to, I don't know. I didn't really do that much with you because luckily I had a relationship before you that I was able to practice on.
Yeah.
But I had to relearn that trusting that person and not having to be like, hey, I mean, I'm just saying I did not check their Snapchat, but like checking to see where their Snapchat, like where are they? I had to learn in my own way the trust because I had an online relationship, so it was different than like your average.
Yeah.
I'm trying to relate to the the majority.
Yeah because it's different for everybody.
So just know that not everyone that you meet is like your old partner. Trust is not automatically earned either.
You always have to have, like, you just can't go into a relationship and be like, I trust you because you like me. No, you have to. They have to earn your trust.
Not everyone is worthy of your trust either. But you will soon get back like with that gauge of who is able to be trusted. And I mean, I still mess up. I let people into my life and I'm like, whoa, I do not trust you. You're out of here. Yeah. But in that moment, I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to tell them everything.
Yeah. You yourself is the only person that you should trust. You need to trust yourself the most before you trust somebody else.
Yeah. And what did I write? I said, this will take a lot of practice, but you'll get there eventually. Like because I said that we're born with intuition. Like we are. Like when you get a gut feeling about someone, 9 times out of 10, you're correct.
You got to listen to your gut.
I mean, I just made that 9 times out of 10.
But it's scientifically proven that 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, but most likely, I mean, you might have a gut that you should not trust because your instincts were off.
Yeah.
But we are all born with that. So hopefully you'll get that back to where you will trust your gut on somebody.
I know you're proud about this last comment that you wrote right here, so I'll let you say it.
Oh, well, this isn't it. This isn't what Steven's talking about. I also said be upfront with the people that you are wanting to start a relationship with. I would tell them like, hey, this is what I was in the past.
Tell them your intentions, like with the person. Say, look, like this last one was rough.
I was lied to for a year. So if I am a little over the top, I'm working on it. And you have to be working on it. If you're telling people you're working on it, you need to be working on it. So yeah, it's just more of a being upfront with them so they understand, okay, she's like this because of so-and-so.
Yeah.
Or because of her past. And we all have a past. We all have hurts and you just have to be upfront with that, which I know it might be scared trusting them, but that's one big step of you do trust this person enough to tell them about your past.
Exactly.
Oh, that is the fault. That is what I said. I said, tell them your past so they know if it takes you a little longer to trust them, it's not your fault that you have been traumatized.
That's what I said Madeline was proud about.
Yeah, because it's really not your fault. It's not your fault. You did not go into that relationship thinking, it's going to be an abusive relationship and I'm going to be lied to for a year.
Yeah.
You don't go into a relationship knowing that.
No.
So
nobody ever thinks that.
Yeah, it's not your fault.
Not your fault whatsoever.
But I have never been in that situation. But I do know of people who were able to overcome it. So I know that you are strong enough, and it's not going to be an overnight thing. It might be a year from now or 3 years from now.
Yeah.
But if you work on it, practice makes perfect, and I think you'll get through it for sure.
Okay. This next one. Number 9, my husband never puts my sexual needs first. It is about him finishing, and that is it.
Yeah.
I
thought this one was, I mean, we don't really talk about sexual things, but we are trying to be more of like adult friendly. I don't know.
Yeah. We want to cater to the adult.
Yeah, because we've always been kid friendly.
So I would say 9 times out of 10, that's usually what sex is about. It's not about the guy, but it does happen first most of the time. But sex it's not just a one party system. It's 2-party system.
Yeah. And
or 3 or however many you have.
I know it's to reproduce, but when you're in a relationship, it can be fun. You want to have fun.
It's a good form of communication. Actually in our premarital counseling class, they were saying sex is an important part of a person's relationship, and you if you guys are ever in an argument, argue naked. And because it's hard to be mad at somebody when they're standing in front of you naked.
I forgot that they said that.
Yeah, we thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
We haven't done that
I was about to say, we haven't had to resort to that advice.
But that's also not on my mind whenever we do get in an argument. I just need to get naked right now.
We typically do our 1 hour thing and then come back and communicate, and then we're good. But
yeah.
You are not alone in this instance of them not putting your sexual needs first, and that's a common problem between.
But I think it is important too that women's sexual needs are met, because women are people too.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be fun for the both of you. You're not just an object.
It's not just like, I can't believe I have to have sex right now. It shouldn't be like that. It should be a fun thing where you guys get to experiment, do whatever you want. It's like an intimate time with 2 people. Or more, however you Well,
or more.
well, I'm saying some people have
I guess,
a relationship of 3 or more. So
That's true. But so some men don't understand that a women's area, this is what I put, takes longer to reach satisfaction.
There
and they
was-
just don't understand that. And
No.
because some girls, they'll fake it just to get it over with because they know that their partner isn't
Mm-hmm.
going to try or fulfill. They're like, we'll just get it, whatever.
And-
I don't even want him to try because...
it's so like, and I will say a bunch of men probably see stuff on Korn that don't really, it's not realistic at all. And so they'll try to recreate stuff that happened in this video that they watched or something. And it's not real. You just gotta,
And everyone's body and what they want is different. So that is something that you might need to experiment, figure out what you like.
And-
so then when you do have a
Yes.
conversation, which the next thing is conversation is key. We're going to say that a
Yeah.
lot, broken record. But honestly, you're going to have a conversation with this person because they don't know
And
because
if-
you have
yeah.
not told them.
and if you're a guy listening to this and you're like, holy crap, like, I didn't know this. Like
I
this.
would hope this is information for
Yeah.
you too.
We actually watched a documentary on Netflix called like, is it Pleasure or something like that? Basically talking about like women having sex, and I think it was really informative. So if you guys want to watch that, it's on Netflix. I'd watch it.
Yeah, the conversation might be awkward, but in order to have a healthy, successful sex life in your marriage, it has to be done.
You got to communicate too.
Yeah.
Communicate.
I
It's
mean-
going to be an awkward one, but you've also seen each other naked. So
Yeah, and if you've married this person, I would assume that you guys have that relationship to where you should be able to have a conversation.
But if you're dating and having sex too, we're not saying, oh, if you're married, the only time you can have sex is when you're married. No, it doesn't matter because everybody's different.
Yeah.
If you believe that you need to wait until marriage to have sex, you can believe that, but you obviously can't tell people you're not allowed to have sex because you're not married yet. If you're dating somebody, communicate with that person too, because again, communication is key, even if it's not like if you're not married, or even if it's just like a one night stand, you got to communicate too. You got to know each other's boundaries.
Yeah, and I would say with the conversation that you're gonna need to have with your husband, I would not come in guns a-blazing, fight him because he's not satisfying you. Come in with an open mind and a caring, I understand you might not know this because they most likely don't. If your husband, he wants you to be happy, I would assume. So he just probably doesn't know that he's not making you happy because you might have relayed to them that you are good with the night or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he's like, okay, good. We're both satisfied.
Again, you shouldn't really ever fake
Yeah.
finishing either, because like I would say for like a girl's, like coming from a guy, like if you were to fake, I hope you would never have, but
Yeah.
I would be like, yeah, I did some, but in reality, Madeline's over here like,
And then he would redo whatever he did.
And it's just an
because he
ongoing
thinks,
cycle.
Oh, that last time worked.
Yeah.
And so you got
to be truthful to each other. So
I'm sorry. I know that's hard. But I would hope that if you guys are married, you do have that relationship to where you can. But again, do not come in it with the mind of, I'm going to fight him on this.
Yeah.
Come on with here, look, this is what
I feel.
Yeah, this is what I like. And, or maybe you don't know what you like and you want to experiment. I would
And
hope
experimenting is supposed to be the fun part too.
I would hope your husband would be willing to do that to see you happy.
Yeah.
I would hope. I don't know.
Sex is is a difficult topic to talk on because everybody is different. Not everybody has the same sexual needs or desires as the other person. So communication and figuring out what you like, what you're comfortable with, what you like, or what your partner likes and what they're comfortable with too. Awesome. I think that was a good one too.
Yeah.
How do you guys maintain the dating phase? We are bad at this. We are bad at the dating phase because we work with each other. We are with each other almost 24/7.
I feel like we have a very unique situation because we work from home. And
we
so,
work with each other.
Yeah, like our job is literally Madeline and Steven. So we actually get a lot of almost quality time, because when we are painting a picture for a TikTok, we're painting and
Yeah.
it's fun. We're having a great time doing it.
And so like whenever that's a perfect example too. I was
And
gonna
it's kind of like a date night for us.
yeah,
is-
because whenever we're not filming for the TikTok and we are painting, we are having a blast. We're drinking our wine, we're doing whatever, and we are having so much fun.
while doing work at the same time.
But there is a fine line between work and dating.
Yeah.
If you are also in the situation, don't make every date, and I'm bad about this, I don't take Madeline on dates like I used to, or like how I should. And it's hard to, like, because after a while, it's like, oh, I'm already married to this person. But then you also have to think, like, you can't take this relationship for granted either. So I would try to date. Try to make a set week out of the month, or twice a week, or once a week, whatever you want.
Whatever is doable with your schedule.
Yeah.
because,
That's what I
again,
was trying to think of. I was like,
Yeah, because we also don't have kids. So
Yeah.
kids are not in the mix either. And so I can only imagine how much
hard it's
harder
gonna be
that's going to be
when we do have kids.
Yeah, because our time's going to be taken up by soccer games or baseball games, whatever. I just
Or
thought of the
we'll
first.
have an infant around and we're like, we can't get away. But we are lucky that we do have family that lives close.
Yeah.
And that if we just need a break and be like, look, we got to go on a date, we got to get out of the house, one of our parents would be more than happy. So I think we are in like a best case scenario situation.
But some people don't have that.
Exactly. That's what I was about to say. Yeah.
So my advice for you is because
Because it's not as easy as we have it. And because we are just like, we're blessed, honestly. Like we have it good.
Yeah, I would first start with making 2 days, let's just say 2 days out of the month. You go on a date. Maybe not 2. Let's just say 1 day a month, because if you already are not going on dates, it's
You
going to
gotta
be
start
hard.
somewhere.
Yeah, it's going to
Yeah.
be hard to implement that many. So let's just say once a month, and you plan one of the dates, and then the next month your significant other plans the dates. So it's not just on the guy, because I feel like I leave that up to you a lot of the times. I'm like, oh, why wouldn't you take me out? Whatever. But I also don't do it to you. So that has to be reciprocated somehow, or
But if
split
it gets
up.
to a point where you're the one always making the dates and the other person is just like, okay, yeah, I'll free up time for that, that's when you got to talk to each other too. Be like, look, I want to be taken on dates. you
Yeah.
know?
And then the dating phase isn't necessarily just going on dates too. Like I remember when we were first dating, you brought me flowers, or you would bring me Chick-fil-A cookies. Like you would do little things to show, hey, I was thinking of you whenever, let's just say you were at the grocery store.
Yeah.
Say we were husband and wife, and you were at the grocery store and you saw flowers and you bought me some and said, hey, I was thinking of you. Like that's another little dating thing too, is like feed off of their love language. So if mine's words of affirmation, what you could show me is just write on a note, hey, you're doing a great job.
I love
put it
you.
put it on my mirror. So whenever I wake up in the morning, it's on my mirror.
And bam, automatic great day.
Yeah, and that's kind of the dating phase, is like it was something new and exciting, and you did not want to lose that. And somehow over time, it just got to be a normal. I mean, we live together, we see each other all the time,
Yeah.
whatever. But I keep saying whatever.
Yeah.
Because there's just so many different situations.
There are.
So it doesn't just have to be going on dates for it to be the dating phase. I would just do those mini little gifts. Like if you see I don't know, if your husband or wife collects mugs, if you see a cute coffee mug just out of nowhere, not even for her birthday, not even for his birthday, just bring the mug
Show
home.
that you thought of that person.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be through gifts. Money might be tight. Just show appreciation by doing the dishes. Not on her birthday. Just doing the dishes because you want to.
Yep.
Just to show her, hey, I am present.
Yeah. Also, what we do in our household, whenever, let's say, Madeline makes dinner, I always do dishes.
Did we take that from your parents?
Did we?
I don't know. Do your parents do that?
I don't know. I think maybe.
I think your parents do.
Mom, Dad, do you guys do that? Let us know in the comments below. Just kidding.
Who? I know somebody. We got that from somebody.
We did get that from somebody, but I don't know where.
I don't know. But
I think
anyway,
that's
yeah.
it.
If I cook the dinner, he
Make
does
it
the
even. Make the
dishes.
chores even in the relationship too.
He does all the lawn work. Like yesterday, he worked outside for probably 2 hours, and I was inside vacuuming, cleaning.
She wasn't on her
doing-
phone on TikTok. She was being productive.
I was cleaning the sheets. I was doing this.
And I could tell you wanted. Yeah.
That's what I said.
You can say that, Mallory.
Literally, I was just like, what else can I do? Because Steven, I felt bad. He was outside. It was like 100 degrees. And I was like, what else can I do in here? So like,
she would come outside and be like, "Hey,
are you almost done?
Yeah, because she's trying to find other stuff to do. So
Because I really wanted to lay down. And
but she also doesn't want me to walk in and be like, "Oh my gosh, she was on her phone the
I
whole
was
time."
laying down the whole time, and I
Yeah.
didn't want him. Yeah, I didn't want him to feel like I wasn't doing my part while he was doing the hard part.
And whenever I
outside.
came inside, I was really thankful that, the dishes were done. The living room was clean. The kitchen was clean. Like, because she just didn't lay down and do something while I was working. Mm-hmm. It's a 2-party system.
Yeah, you got to pick and choose
Yep.
which chores you want to do.
How much more of these do we have? 2 more.
2 more. Yeah, I asked you, I said, I think while you were out there, I said, so what's something that you don't want to do?
Yeah.
This
when
can
you
I
come
do?
inside. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know. Like, I just want to go inside. Like, I want to take a shower.
How long have we been recording? Because we can decide if.
Let me see. We have been recording for, what does it say? An hour.
Sheesh. So what's that last question? Because I kind of want to answer that one
Okay.
right there. Oh, wait.
Oh,
That
yeah.
one's crazy. Wait, go down 2 more. There's actually 3
there's
questions.
3 questions.
So that last one we don't have to do.
Okay.
We can maybe, if we do a part 2, if you guys are interested in that, we can add that. But there are 2 more questions that I do want to listen or do want to.
Okay. So this is number 11.
How?
Oh, go ahead. You can go.
How do you keep the relationship intimate with our busy schedules? So my first question would be, is it physical intimacy or is it emotional intimacy? So it's kind of like what we were just saying for the emotional intimacy is, I know you're probably busy with work or school or whatever's
Whatever
going
you're
on in
doing.
your life. Kids going to soccer. I don't know why soccer.
Soccer's- yeah.
We're not even a soccer family,
No.
so I don't know.
No.
I guess I think of soccer moms. I don't
Probably.
know.
Yeah.
It just really depends on what's going on. But for emotional, it's kind of like the same thing. Leave notes around the house for each other.
Yeah.
Just show them that you care and that you are still in this relationship by doing the dishes or by cleaning the toilets. I would not want to mow the lawn. But I'm gonna leave that one for you.
Yeah.
But if there's something else, maybe
There-
I can show my appreciation by doing one of your chores. That,
While I
you-
mow, you could pick the weeds in the garden sometime.
yeah. Maybe
It's funny because like whenever we drive through our neighborhood, I'm like, I say this as a joke. I'm like, wow, that's a good wife over there picking those weeds. That would be so great if mine did that. But obviously,
well, I have
she
a
knows
skin
I'm joking.
condition right now, Steven, so I cannot be outside.
That's true.
I'm literally itching my leg right now as we
Yeah.
saw. I'm pretty sure I've been doing that this whole time. But if it is physical intimacy and your busy schedules don't allow you to, say you get in bed and y'all are both tired, but you want to, but you're both tired, or one's tired and the other one's not, I would plan a date to have sex. I mean, I know it sounds stupid, but
You gotta
honestly,
plan it. Put it on the calendar.
yeah.
Don't put it on the family calendar. Put it on the calendar in your bedroom.
I mean, honestly, then that way you can pamper yourself. You can find the cute lingerie set.
Because you can find time, unless it's like the worst case scenario, you're working day shift, the other partner's working night shift, and you have 0 time to each other. That's hard.
But show your other partner that you're excited
Yeah.
to be intimate with each other.
Yeah.
Also, this will pass. Whatever your busy schedule is right now,
It's not permanent.
one day something is going to change. Say it is kids sports that takes up a lot of your time at night. One day they're not going to be in sports, or they're going to be in high school where they can drive themselves to practice.
Yep.
So
Time is tricky because you can't control it.
yeah, and if you guys can just get through this, you'll eventually get back to your old habits.
Yep.
Or if your work schedule is messy, or one person works nights, one person works days, like one day hopefully your schedules will line up. Also just learning how to say yes and no to people.
This is something that we actually need to work on. If somebody asks us to do something, and if you're listening to this and you're in our life and you like family, for instance, mom, dad, if you guys are listening, keep on asking us to do stuff.
Yes,
Still,
we do love to do
because what we're
stuff.
about to say is like kind of contradicting that. But again, remember that we love you, and like you were in the situation at one point too.
Yeah, so by that I mean like say family does invite you to dinner quite often, but that's the one night that you guys have together. Learn how to say no and turn that invite down. If it's going out with your friends or whatever, but you finally get that one night, say no and say yes more to your partner.
Yeah.
Maybe your emails are always going off and you're always checking your email. Close the computer.
It will still be
with
there.
your partner.
It'll be there, and however long it takes.
It is important to prioritize your love in your relationship.
Absolutely. You can't be a couple without each other. So, anything else on here that you see?
I don't think
Cool.
so.
You don't want to say communication is key again?
No.
Madeline has broken record here, but communication is key. I think you guys already understand that part.
Yeah.
Okay.
Communication.
Yeah, if you take anything away from this, is communication.
Yeah, with
just gotta
anybody, even your friends in your life.
Yeah.
If your friend's doing something wrong, tell them. Figure out how you can fix it.
Humans have evolved enough to create language. You should use it. It helps. It really does help. Okay, last one of this episode.
Yeah.
You want to say it?
Sure.
I'll say it.
Okay.
No, you can say it.
Stephen Lloyd.
I can do it. Okay. No, you go ahead. Okay.
Man.
My boyfriend keeps texting my mom and sending her pickup lines, and I don't know. It's just weird. It is weird. That's weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
I agree with you. I'm on your side on this one.
Yeah, my first bullet point is no, no, and no. That
Yeah.
is not okay.
Yeah.
That's weird. Like, that's like me texting your dad pickup lines.
Yeah.
Ew.
That's my dad.
Like I know. I don't want to send.
And
no.
you, that's your mom. That's weird.
Yeah.
You gotta, you should obviously not talk to him and be like, why are you doing this to my mom? But just kind of be like, hey, look, this is how I feel.
Well, yeah, he needs to understand how it is making you feel. And also, does your mom feed into it? Like, is it a problem with your mom too? Like, is she not putting a stop to it?
And maybe you have that conversation with your mom. It's going to be a tough, weird conversation, but it's a conversation that you probably need to have with her, because if she is kind of playing along with it and be like, oh, your boyfriend is so cute, he's sending me he's so sweet, be like, mom, this this weirds me out.
Yeah, I'm so sorry that you're having to go through this.
Yeah.
I don't understand it at all. But having a conversation with them and explain why it's making you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because that would make me very uncomfortable if you were texting my mom. I get it, like here and there, like little things, but if it's a constant repeated thing, I know.
Stacy's mom just might have it going on.
Yeah.
I don't know if your name is Stacy. That I don't know. I was just singing a song there. Imagine her name was actually Stacy and she's like, oh my God. how do they know?
Yeah, I definitely think conversation needs to be has
to be had.
Yeah, that's just wrong. And I get like kind of playfulness. Like I'm sure you've said stuff to my mom, like joking.
I can't think of anything.
I can't either. Like he's not weird with my mom, but I'm sure you've said some things. So if you said it over and over and over and over and over again, then I would start thinking, does he really feel that way? Mm-hmm. But if you said it one way, I'd be like, oh, haha, he's joking.
Yeah.
But if
I keep
you
on
kept
saying
it, that's when it would get in my mind like,
yeah,
does he actually mean that? So I don't know. I mean, it's one thing to have a good relationship with your in-laws. You definitely want to. I'm so thankful that I have a good relationship with your parents.
We really do have it good with family too.
Yeah.
Because our parents hang out with each other. They're good friends. And I know not everybody is lucky like we are. Because we have it good.
Yeah, for sure. But there is also a fine line of being way too friendly and too close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know where else to go with that, but yeah, it was I think we got everything that we need to say out of the way, so
I hope this episode was good. I'm sorry.
Helpful.
It's kind of, so whenever I was trying, so we were just going to wing it, go in and talk about it. And I was like, no, we can't. Like, I have to have, because I don't want to say something that in the moment, I'm like, oh yeah, that sounds like a good idea. And then I re-listen to it and I'm like, whoa, that was not good advice at all.
Yeah.
Because I do think a lot of people want to listen to what we have to say, and so we have to be careful on what we're telling people.
Absolutely.
But I just think it really depends on your situation, and if you are still struggling with something, maybe we didn't answer a question of yours. Finding Google like forums and stuff, I'm sure there are like actually licensed relationship advice giver people that are out there and will answer your questions. And I just am thinking of all of you guys who are going through problems in your relationship, and
try to be that. If you can't resort to any of that, try to be the middleman yourself. Step back from your point of view and think about the other person's point of view, and
why are they this way? Why are they doing this?
I think that's just I think that's a rule that everybody should kind of follow.
Even in just your friendships.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be about relationships or anything. Just kind of step back and be like, why?
Or say you're in a grocery store and a lady has a bad attitude with you. Think, why is she like that?
Yeah.
Don't lash back out at her because she could be having something going on in her personal life.
Yeah.
Or sometimes people are just mean.
Yeah. My dad always told me to kill people with kindness, because not everybody's going to be nice. It's not going to happen. So be nice to them back, and they'll be like, oh, why was that person so nice? Trying to think. I don't know. I think that's it.
Yeah, I think so. And I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and hopefully we weren't as contradicting
this episode as we were in the body episode.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't watched any of our other episodes, go back and watch them. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, listening. You guys are the reason why we do this. We love you guys so much. Do you have anything to say?
Yeah, if you were listening this far, comment "I like pickles" in the comments. I'm curious to see who actually listens this far.
Yeah.
At the ending. Like, this has been an hour.
The end. So if you have made it this far, thank you so much. You're a G. I can't think of anything else to say, but you guys are literally amazing. So
yeah, and we're so thankful, and hopefully you like the new studio if you're watching.
Yeah, and if you guys are listening and you guys want to watch, just check it out. It's really cool. We're proud of it. Mm-hmm. So, all right. 5.
All right. Episode 10 is complete.
Yay.
Thank you guys so much for watching, listening, everything, and we hope to see you guys in our next episode.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.